Here we are. Hello.
This is Elvis, the ultimate fan channel, the global Elvis community fan channel.
She's so right. The global community Elvis channel. Welcome. Welcome. I just got through watching Rick's channels, Elvis A to Z, with the Blue Moon Boys. Yes, great show, boys. Really, really good. And don't forget Blue Moon Radio as well. Lynette Lozano, thank you very, very much. You know, she just says number one fan there, but you can also type something as well for your super chat. So if you want to send me a super chat, anybody wants to send me a super chat, you can do so, and I will read them out, of course. And if there's anything particularly you want to say, I will see it and I will read it out. Thank you, Lynette. Very kind. So, as I always say, thank you very, very, very much. I do appreciate you joining me either live or watching on playback, because I know people have very hectic lives and busy lives, and for you to take an hour or so out of your schedule or your life to watch this old fogey here blather on about Elvis for a little while, it's very much appreciated. And what am I going to blather on about tonight? Well, of course, we have a topic, must visit Elvis locations. Yes. Now, there will be obviously a few obvious ones in there, but there'll also be some less obvious ones. And there'll also be ones that how can I put this? I deliberately left out to see if you want to call in, suggest anything to me as an Elvis location that a fan should visit, and one that none of us might have thought of. So that's going to be fun tonight, I believe. You can obviously ring me on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. You can ring me on the +353 87 959 8819. DF Lee, hello. Yes, you've got a super chat as well. What does the super chat say? It just says number one. So that's two number ones now I've got. Thank you very much for that. You see, I see them straight away. So if there is anything in particular you want to say to me or ask or tell somebody, then you can do that with a super chat. Where was I? I've kind of got waylaid now. What was I saying? Yeah. If there's any particularly Elvis location you can think of that you think a fan should visit, then please either mention it. If you're watching on playback, mention it in the comments. And if you think of it when you're on the show, you can ring in. Oh, yes, I was saying you can ring in 353 87959 8819. The 353 is if you're outside of Ireland, which I know a lot of you are. Discord as well. If you're not on Discord and you want to join our Discord server, there is a link below for that. Now, as well as the topic, we've got This Day in Elvis History, another great day in Elvis history. A live poll, which again meshes with this subject, the topic. A song I wish Elvis had recorded. Caption this photo. It's a good one this week. Smoking hot photo.
Oh, he's so hot.
You know, I only said smoking hot photo and...
Oh, he's so hot.
It sets her off. And that reminds me, okay, if you want to send in a jingle for smoking hot photo...
Oh, he's so hot.
You can record it saying that, or you can do a variation on what you'd like to say when you see a really, really smoking hot photo of Elvis. So you can email me in your voice note, or you can do it on WhatsApp and send it to me on WhatsApp. There's the number for WhatsApp, actually, 879598819. You can find me on WhatsApp under that number. Because I would like for you to be part of the show by being a jingle like this.
Oh, he's so hot.
So get those recordings in and voice notes in, and I will pick one and play it for the smoking hot photo. What else? Oh, yeah, I hate to start on a sad note, but we did lose a couple of people in the Elvis world this week. The first one was Jan Shepherd. As we know, Jan was in King Creole. She was actually Elvis's sister in King Creole, and she was also in Paradise Hawaiian Style. She passed away at the age of 96, I believe. Very, very good age. And also Joe Cathy Brownlee, who dated Elvis in 1975, passed away. Now, I know that Joe Cathy had a very, very serious automobile accident a few years ago, and it took its toll. So condolences to Jan and Joe Cathy's friends and family and so forth, and they will be sadly missed from the Elvis world. That's Jan Shepherd and Joe Cathy Brownlee. Now, before we go any further, of course, Hidden Elvis, 4 clues throughout the show, and then at the end, after the 4th clue, I will ask you to comment on the live chat what you think the Hidden Elvis is. And here's the first one.
Hidden Elvis, clue number 1.
And that is September 12th, 1964. Yeah. September 12th, 1964. You probably won't get it from that, but when you put it with the other 3 clues, it'll all make sense. And my sheets are sticking together. Now, Fan of the Month quiz. The last 2 months, the winners has been Susan and Dylan, and both of them have got their prize. Well, Dylan got his prize actually yesterday, and I know Susan's is on the way, but it's got to travel a little bit further for Susan. But Susan, your prize is on its way. Now, to play this, it's an Elvis song lyric quiz. I will give you a line from an Elvis song, and you've got to give me the following line. Just a word of warning as well. Make sure that you have live chat or all messages selected, or else you won't see all. If you only have top messages or something like that, you won't see all the answers. You might think you were the first person to get it right. So live chat, not all messages. Live chat, all messages, not top messages. So make sure you've got that selected first. Now, I see Chris R is in the building. She's going to help me moderate. Did anybody see Dave yet? Is Dave in the building as well to help me moderate? What color will I choose this week? Will I go red, black, green, or blue? What color will I use? Hey, Dave is here, he says. Tanya says red, so we will go red. How's that? Okay. Chris says I haven't seen him yet, Steve, but he is there because I've just seen him there now. Right, now, question number 1. You're the prettiest thing I've seen. There you are. You're the prettiest thing I've seen. I get very cocky every week thinking I'm going to stump you. And then somebody comes in straight away and gets it. That's close, Helen. It is close, yeah. Natalie says, Dylan, that was brilliant. Yeah, it was so fast. It was so fast. Yeah. So, Dylan, this is for you.
I'm not marrying you. I'm not marrying her. I'm not marrying anybody. I'm saying single, 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 single.
I've got a couple lined up for that quiz jingle, which I'm going to use over the next few weeks. In fact, I might change that next week. Now, let's see who gets this one first. Yes, I got my train fare. Where's he going? Yes, I got my train fare. Yes, it was from Got a Lot of Living to Do. I meant to say that. Sorry. Tanya says Kentucky Rain. Got my rucksack for the road. I like that, Tracy. Okay. Well, I do believe that one person has got it right so far. 2 people have got it right so far. Paul says, pack my bags and. Close. Okay, so I think, and I'll just ask, yeah, actually it's just been confirmed. It was Brian Roberts. Pack my grip and ride away from Feel So Bad. Wow, what a song that was. Brian Roberts. Well done, Brian.
I'm not marrying you. I'm not marrying her. I'm not marrying anybody. I'm saying single, 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 single.
You wish, El. Okay. Dave says you've got to have the whole lyric. Yeah, the whole next line. I should tell you actually how many words we're looking for. In this one, we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking for the next 5 words. And the preceding line is, I'll send 1,000 flowers. DF Lee says, keep the jingle for another week. I know why she's saying that, because then it'll be closer to St. Valentine's Day. Yeah. So I might keep that just for one more week, and then I've got a couple to change. I can't tell you that, Dylan. I can't tell you what it's from. Ooh. Look at that. There's a bit of a head-to-head here going on between Brian and Susan. Yeah, and I think Brian just snuck in there again. Chris says Susan S. So we do have a VAR decision here, a video referee decision. It was from Beyond the Reef. It's Where the Trade Winds Blow. Chris is saying Susan, and Dave is saying, who was Dave saying? Brian. Yeah, and Chris says actually it was Brian. Well done. Thank you, moderators. Brian?
I'm not marrying you. I'm not marrying her. I'm not marrying anybody. I'm saying single, 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 single.
Okay, right. So Beyond the Reef. And okay, again, here we go. I'll give you the number of words we're looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words. 9 words that come after a little 4-piece band was jamming. A little 4-piece band was jamming. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 9. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Looks like he's got the nine words. Sally. Yeah. Tracy. Manfred says set in, but it's actually sat in. Yeah, because I checked it on the lyrics board. So it looks like Dylan is back in after 2 from Dave Roberts. It does look, yeah, it was Guitar Man. Yeah. And a little 4-piece band was jamming, so I took my guitar and I sat in. And I'm putting Dylan in there.
I'm not marrying you. I'm not marrying her. I'm not marrying anybody. I'm saying single, 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 single.
Okay, yeah, way to go, jumpsuit, Dylan. Yeah, the grand master of the jumpsuit. That's what we used to call Dylan. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be very, very, very easy for everybody, because you've only got to type 5 words. And what are the 5 words that come after you gave me love to enjoy? Shirley says, showing off now, Dylan. Yes, he is. He's a show-off, isn't he? He knows his stuff. I'm amazed at how fast Dylan can type, actually. Manfred says, like a bright, shiny toy. Yeah. Vincenzo, Mrs. EAP, Edwidge, Timothy, Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Susan. Hi, Susan. Yeah, he's psychic. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're going to have to break his keyboard or something. Take the batteries out of his keyboard. Okay, yes, like a baby. That was from?
I'm not marrying you. I'm not marrying her. I'm not marrying anybody. I'm saying single. 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 Single.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will test everybody's typing skills. He must have ultra fast Wi-Fi. I don't know. I really don't know. He does know his stuff as well, though. Because, Dylan does shows and he sings Elvis songs and things like that. So he's going to know the lyrics. Like all of us, really. It's just he's super fast. Super, super fast. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10. Wow. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Debolixius loves Elvis. I like that. Okay, now add chewing gum to his keys, says Sandra. Yes, I must do something like that. Right. I get so warm when you touch my cheek. What's the next line? Well, at least Dylan's typed very quickly, no stumped. Very gracious of you, Dylan. Tracy Heenan says, no clue. Is this the one where I get you? Oh, that's okay, Dylan. There's no Manfred Baumer does, though. Stick around, Manfred. You're going to be mentioned later. And it's Manfred that got it. Yeah, it's you thrill me so much that I can hardly speak. Don't you think it's time? Yeah, that's what it's from. Don't you think it's time? Well done, Manfred.
I'm not marrying you. I'm not marrying her. I'm not marrying anybody. I'm saying single. 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 Single.
And that actually completes this week's Fan of the Month quiz. Elvis song lyrics. Well done, Dylan. Well done, Brian. And well done, Manfred. A nice stretch of people. Okay, now what have we got to do? Topic. Yes, the topic. Must visit Elvis locations. Now, obviously, this first one is very, very obvious, and it's this one. Beautiful, beautiful Graceland. But please do bear with me. As we know, Elvis bought this relatively modest by today's standards mansion in 1957 for $102,500. Now that is equivalent to $1,151,440 in today's money, and it remained his home until his death 20 years later. As most of us know, it's the second most visited home in the US, and the first is obviously the White House. Over 600,000 visitors a year tour the mansion and grounds and visit the meditation garden where Elvis and his immediate family are buried. So as I say, that's the most obvious one. As far as, must visit Elvis locations. If you can only visit one place as an Elvis fan, then it's obviously going to be Graceland, I believe. Anyway, the next one. Again, obvious, but not everybody goes there. I know there's some people that actually missed it. And it's this one. It's Sun Studio, again, Memphis, Tennessee. It's about a 15-minute drive from Graceland. Sun Studio is widely hailed as the birthplace of rock and roll, and the place where, in 1953, Elvis recorded his first record, paying a princely sum of $4 for the privilege. Side A was called My Happiness, and Side B was That's When Your Heartaches Begin. On a tour of the legendary studio, you can stand in the exact spot where Elvis stood to make his first record. And of course, subsequent recordings as well. And when I did that, I could feel the hair on the back of my head stand up. I really could. Now, gets a little bit less obvious now with number 3, and it's this one. The Municipal Auditorium, Shreveport, Louisiana. On October 16th, 1954, a young Elvis walked onto the stage at the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium and, dressed in a pink suit, sang "That's All Right, Mama." The auditorium was home to the Louisiana Hayride, a live show broadcast over the radio which launched the careers of many, including Hank Williams. Now, let's hear part of that broadcast now.
Lucky Strike guest time now.
Now, that there was recreated in the Baz Luhrmann movie Elvis. The pink suit, the dialogue between Horace Logan and Elvis. You got anything else to say, sir? And so forth. So, turn it up, Steve. What do you mean by turn it up? Could you not hear it? Let me just start it again.
Lucky Strike guest time now.
Sounds okay to me, Dave. Right. Wish we could visualize that. Well, the only way you could visualize it was watching Elvis, Baz Luhrmann, because, as I say, it's very, very, very close to that scene. The audience was generally young and vocal, with dangling microphones cunningly placed to catch their enthusiasm. Within a few weeks of his first appearance, Elvis was contracted to appear on the Hayride every Saturday night. He was paid $18 per show. Take a look at the price list above the kiosk today. A bottle of water is $8 and tickets were 60 cents. Imagine being able to see Elvis for 60 cents. This is also the venue where the words "Elvis has left the building" were first uttered. Yes, it wasn't Al Vaughan. The phrase originated in 1956 when Horace Logan, announcer at the Louisiana Hayride show, used the expression to encourage the crowd of teens to stay seated for the next performance. Later, it was used to encourage Elvis concert goers to leave the venue. Today, you can join a tour of the auditorium to learn more about its fascinating history. There you are. How's that? So that's number 3. Number 4. I think you're going to have to guess this one. It's this one. Tupelo, Mississippi. In 1935, Elvis was born in a 2-room Tupelo shack into relative poverty. The house where Elvis was born, which has been carefully refurbished with pieces of the time, now sits within the Elvis Presley Birthplace Park. Dotted around the park are statues which have been painstakingly rendered by artists from photos of a young Elvis. So that's number 4 on the must visit if you're an Elvis fan. Number 5. What do you think number 5 is? Well, number 5 is this. Oh, yeah, Hawaii. And I'll tell you why. Elvis first visited in 1957 to perform at Honolulu Stadium and a day later at the Schofield Army Barracks. Later, he filmed 3 movies on these paradisal islands. Blue Hawaii, 1961, Girls, 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 1962, and of course Paradise Hawaiian Style, 1966. Elvis also vacationed in Hawaii and with his wife Priscilla and daughter Lisa Marie. And of course, it was the location of the Aloha from Hawaii satellite show in 1973. And there is the venue. His very last vacation was in Hawaii with Ginger Alden in March of 1977. Book your accommodation at the Hilton Hawaiian Village at Waikiki Beach, which was his favorite accommodation, and be sure to visit a pineapple plantation as Elvis's character Chad Gates in Blue Hawaii does. So that's number 5. Okay, we move on. And we say number 6 is Las Vegas, of course, yes. And Elvis's residency in Vegas is for which the city best remembers him. He performed packed-out shows between July 1969 and December 1976. The hotel at which his residency took place and where he stayed was the International, which was later renamed the Las Vegas Hilton. Today it's the Westgate. So book a room there to feel closest to Elvis, whose bronze likeness can be seen in the lobby. Okay, and the next one is Bad Nauheim in Germany. Yeah, this place, beautiful place. During his military service, rather than being stationed at the barracks, he was allowed to stay in a hotel in the nearby Bad Nauheim, along with members of his entourage. Bad Nauheim retains many traces of its association with the singer, not least the Elvis Festival, which takes place every August. And also the traffic lights around the town show red and green Elvis figures. You can also stand on the exact spot where Elvis stood for the cover of Big Hunk of Love. Yes, there it is. It's still there. That archway and everything is still there. You can see the home at Gotherstrasse, okay, which is that one there, Gotherstrasse 14, to which he eventually moved and where he was to meet his future wife Priscilla. And this place. The hotel in which he first lived, Hotel Grunwald, reopened in 2017. And room 10, the Elvis room, has been left as it was during his 4-month stay. I think he was there for more than 4 months, wasn't he? I don't know. That's what the blurb says anyway. Check in and you can sleep in his actual bed. The mattress is new, but the bed frame remains the same. Any time of year other than around the time of the anniversary of his death, during which it's opened for tours. And that is the ones that I've picked out of the places must-visit Elvis locations. Tell me which ones I've missed, which ones I haven't even thought of, and suggest them to me. You can ring in and you can tell me them. But meshing in with the topic is the poll. And the poll is this. After Graceland, I couldn't put Graceland on the poll because it's so obvious it would just win outright. So after Graceland, which would be your favourite Elvis location? The Tupelo birthplace, the Sun Studio, Audubon Drive House, or other? And you can leave your choice in the live chat. So hopefully that will go up there now. Let's have a look. Yes, it does. Perfect. Okay. After Graceland, which would be your favourite Elvis location? The Tupelo birthplace, Sun Studio, Audubon Drive House, or other? And you can leave your choice in the live chat. And if you're watching on playback, you can leave your choice in the comments below. So that was a nice, interesting topic that I researched this week, and I had great fun researching it and thinking about it, and also thinking, now which ones will I leave out to see if anybody wants to say, well, I would like to visit, or I have been to this place and you didn't mention it, and I'd like to give this a name check as well. And I do actually have a caller coming in already, actually, so I'm going to pick that up. And I'm going to say, hi, Rick.
And I do actually have a caller coming in already, actually, so I'm going to pick that up.
Rick needs to turn his audio off.
Hi, Rick. I do actually have a caller coming in already, actually.
Hello, Rick. I don't even know if Rick knows he's rung me. So, yeah. Okay. I'll just clear that. All right, here we go. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he couldn't hear me. Let's see if he can hear me. Hi, Rick. How are you, Rick? Hello, Rick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing good. I never have good luck with these calls like this.
No, you're doing fine. You're coming through loud and clear. I thought at one point you'd actually pocket dialed me because it sounded like you were driving. You know what I mean? If the phone's in your pocket or something like that and you press a button by mistake.
Yeah, I think, well, when I hit it, I didn't know it was going to go through so quick, and I was adjusting the volume of my laptop at the same time. So.
Right. Okay. Listen, I was tuned into your show. You probably saw me commenting on your live chat.
Oh, yeah.
Another great show by the three of you, the Blue Moon Boys. Yeah. Really great.
Yeah, I wanted to. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you for that. I wanted to give. I appreciate you. Coming in because it's just nice to see other. Some of the other creators pop in. But I really appreciate that. Yeah, we have fun with it.
You see, as I've always said, that, all us good channels. I know, I sound like I'm bigging myself up here, but all the good channels on YouTube are, they're all going towards the same target, which is to keep Elvis's memory and legacy alive. That's what we're doing. So,
exactly. Yeah. I don't believe in this defending per se. I believe in protecting his legacy. So that's my opinion, but. I watch the channels that do that. I have no time for the negative stuff. So,
we try and keep it as positive as possible on here as well.
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while, something's going to come up that we want to discuss. But at the end of the day, it's about. It's like I said last week. We tried to highlight Elvis's personality and humanitarianism and his humor mostly, and then just to discuss, his legacy and, what he's all about. And that to me is the important thing.
Yeah. Did you hear the topic? Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to give you my place. Well, first of all, I wasn't able to put into for the chat, but I would have picked Bad Hindman for out of the list that you had.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But now I have some that I would add to the list that a lot of people may not even think about. Man, I do this because I grew up in Los Angeles, but there's a lot of history with Elvis in Los Angeles. You've got 3 or 4 of his homes. Perugia way's gone. It's been demolished.
Yeah.
But you got Bellagio, you got Hillcrest, you got Montevale. And then you could drive over to Palm Springs and check out that house there, which they're doing some tours, but they're mostly by schedule.
Yeah, this is a Chino Canyon, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, you're right. I've seen all over my, after living there, I've driven by the houses, and there were, at one time it was we drove by his Perugia house when he was living there. Of course, he wasn't there. And my luck, he's never there. But there's one place that a lot of people don't think about that is really cool to check out. If you ever go to LA, you want to check out some of the travels of Elvis, and that's the merry-go-round at Griffith Park,
right,
where he filmed Change of Habit. We were on a high school. It means a lot to me because we were on a high school field trip when he was filming that scene. And even though they wouldn't allow us to go over there, we heard it going on. And when somebody told me who it was, I about had a fit. I wanted to break away from the class, but I was 12. Or
that's one I didn't have down. I did have Hillcrest down. That was one I left out.
Right,
I sort of deliberately missed that out to see if anybody would actually mention it. Chino Canyon is another one I had down as well.
Yeah. It's you could make a couple days trip of just visiting. You got radio recorders. You've got some of the other 63 that I'm not for sure if one of the other ones is still up, but I know that they do tours of those. So, or they did. I haven't checked on them for quite a while.
Radio recorders is another one I've got listed down as well. So me and you are agreeing on this.
Yeah. So
let me give you a hint. There's another one in Tupelo which I left out.
In Tupelo, where you got his birthplace.
Any idea? Yeah, I got his birthplace, but there is another big one in Tupelo.
Not the school.
No, it's Tupelo Hardware.
Oh, son of a! Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, why? Well, I sat here. I talked about that last week, and why did I not even?
Exactly. I saw the talk. Yeah.
I was, I've been to Tupelo. Tupelo's 4 hours from me, and I used to drive by it all the time to go see my mom in Little Rock, and we would stop every now and then. And every time we'd stop, it was the hardware store was closed.
Yeah, well, when you go inside, you'll be amazed how sort of old-fashioned it is. They've kept the real old-fashioned look inside.
Yeah, that's what a friend of mine said. He went there last year, and he says you go back in time.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's unreal. I love those old hardware stores in the first place. But,
yeah.
I just want to walk in there and stand. It's like in Sun Studios. First time I went there, and it wasn't really, we were at the end of the day and they were closed, and the guy went ahead and let us come in. So we were the only one in there. And I'm standing on the tile floor, and it's the bestest tile floor. I'm standing there, and there's little chips and chunks all out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there saying, same floor that Elvis walked.
Yeah, I know. And there's a cross on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I was walking out the doorway from the studio into the reception area, my foot kicked a piece of tile loose. And I looked at the guy and I said, I'm sorry. He said, no, you can have it.
Really?
Yeah. So
you got a piece of tile from the floor at Sun Studio.
Well, I got divorced, so guess what I lost?
Oh, I don't believe you.
Yeah, I lost a lot of my Elvis memorabilia because she knew that would hit me the hardest of anything.
Oh no!
And that was one of them. It was about the size of a 50-cent piece, or if you know what that, And it was I cherished that, and it was just like I kept it in a little box, and that box disappeared. I had my tickets from when I saw them. I had my menu from the Hilton when I had all that stuff. I came close to homicide.
Oh man, I really feel for you. I really do, Rick. That's terrible.
But life goes on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just. But I still have the memories. And that's
I was just about to say that there's one thing nobody can take it away from you, and that's the memories. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, first of all, and also too, I just want to kind of give a shout out for Cam's GoFundMe page. So, if there's any way you could throw the link to it in your description and just kind of give a word for it, because we're really trying to help them out. We've done really good with it so far, about $1,800, and every little bit helps. And I'm creating an Instagram video to kind of give it out to where people could share it and all that. So we really want to, he's one of our Elvis community. And he's just a valuable. He's a close friend of mine, and anything we can do within the community. So whatever you can do to just kind of give him a shout out and share that link, I would really appreciate it.
Okay.
I know Cam would too.
Yeah, consider it done. I'll do that later.
All
right.
Hey, listen, first time I had a chance to really sit and listen to your show in a while since I'm here alone. So
okay, I hope you're enjoying it so far. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I get it. Some of the polls and all that you get, but. I like watching the battles between Dylan and everybody else trying to get those answers.
I know. He's so quick, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good kid. So,
all right.
All right, listen, I appreciate it, Steve. Thanks for taking the time.
All right. Cheers, Rick. Bye-bye. Bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah, that was Rick from Elvis A to Z. And I was saying he does a live broadcast a couple of hours before this show, and I was watching it. Great show with the Blue Moon Boys, Cam and Elvis for the record. I've just forgot his name for the moment, but somebody will tell me, I'm sure. So we keep voting on that. After Graceland, which would be your favorite Elvis location? The Tupelo birthplace, Sun Studio, Audubon Drive House, or other. You can leave your choice in the live chat. And if you're watching this on playback, you can leave it in the comments below. Now, let's see. We normally do another one of these.
Hidden Elvis. Clue number 2.
Hidden Elvis clue number 2, to go with clue number 1, of course, is 8,800. Okay, so put that with September 12th, 1964, and see what that gives us. Now, of course, before we go any further, we have...
It's time once again for Dylan's Elvis Tale.
Yeah, Dylan's Elvis tale. Now, with a little luck, if I open the right fader and take Dylan off mute, he should be able to hear me. Hi, Dylan. Okay. Strange. Are you there, Dylan? Maybe I didn't take him off mute. I did take him off mute. Yeah. Oh, of course. You have to put yourself in the call, though, don't you? Silly boy. Now can you hear me?
Silly Billy.
Silly Billy. I was so wrapped up talking to Rick that I got a little bit sort of hyper, and I forgot to put myself in the. I forgot to put myself in the call. Yeah.
I know. You almost forgot the best bit of the show.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you want to do first? Do you want to talk about after Graceland, which would be your favorite Elvis location, or do you want to put another one? Do you want to throw another location into the hat?
I want to throw in a few.
Go on, throw a few in then. Why not?
The Westgate, of course.
Of course, yeah. Which was the International Hotel and the Hilton Hotel.
Yep, the Golden Nugget, which used to be Sahara.
Oh, okay, because he used to stay there a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, and I learned that you can actually stay in the exact same suite as him.
Wow. Okay, just like you can stay in the same room in the Grunwald Hotel Grunwald, yeah, room number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's about it.
That's about it. That's enough. Well, I could, there's Tupelo hardware as well, isn't there? Which I missed out. Radio recorders, 1174 Stacks, 1174 Hillcrest. I'm going to throw in there now Lansky's. What about Lansky's? Nobody's mentioned Lansky's yet.
Let me tell you, I've got some things from Lansky's, and they are just as good as they was in Elvis today.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You can get the stuff online, can't you? There's Lansky Brothers. Clothiers to the King. Now, I know he didn't like being called the King, but that's what they
it's a very catchy name, though, I think. Clothier to the King.
Clothier to the King. There's obviously Hillcrest. I'm showing these pictures as we talk. Radio recorders, yes, 7,000. Studio B as well is another one. Yeah. Let me throw up Studio B. There you go, Studio B. Audubon Drive as well. Drive rather. There's loads of places. Hardware. Tupelo Hardware. Yeah. So yeah. Do you want to do the tale then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last week I was a naughty boy because I teased a Lake Tahoe tale, and I am not one to not deliver, so I'm going to deliver for you. So this is my Lake Tahoe tale.
Okay.
So hang on. You know what I'm going to do? If you don't mind, I'm just going to check once again. You
have to consult the Elvis encyclopedia?
Yeah, because he knows effing about effing. Hang on just 1 second. May 9th. There we go. Okay.
May 9th. Okay.
So May 9th, 1976. It was Elvis's last show in Tahoe. And let me tell you, it was an absolute doozy, right? So he gets on. And as you can see in the photos, he's wearing the chicken bone suit.
Yes.
Which I know isn't a lot of people's favourites because it's kind of gaudy, but I like it. I like it. He gets on and get this. He does 34 songs. 34 songs he does.
Wow.
And he's up there for 2 hours. Not 1 hour, not an hour and a half, not an hour and 45, 2 hours.
Now that by any means is a long show, and it's a very long show for Elvis because his shows normally ran for 55, 60 minutes.
Yep. I think the longest up till then was like an hour and 10 maybe.
Yeah.
But 2 hours was this show, and a thing that I learned when getting the photos for this show, I finally realised why Elvis is sitting down.
Okay.
Because he's in Kathy Westmoreland's seat and he's listening to her sing My Heavenly Father.
Oh, so that's why he sat down.
That's why he sat down.
I thought he was sitting down because it was such a long show, he needed a rest.
That's what I thought. Because honestly, I saw it at first, I was like, oh my God, like, is he sick? Or is he injured? Or like, what happened? But no, he's sitting there listening to Kavi sing My Heavenly Father. So
Right.
there you go. So that's what he's doing, and that is my Lake Tahoe tale, and hopefully that lived up to the hype that I had.
Well, I'm telling you now, that's one of your best ones. You're going to have to do very, very well now to improve on that next week. By the way, I know you mentioned some of these places, but what have you voted on the poll?
I actually put Sahara in the.
Oh, as the other leave choice in the live chat, right? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because I feel like the Sahara, like the Tahoe stuff, is very underrated in terms of pictures and sound things. Because if you consider, right, 1971 was when he first started doing Tahoe. There's hardly any pictures from those engagements.
That's right.
It wasn't until like I want to say maybe 73-ish where they was kind of looser on the cameras. So there's a lot more pictures, but I really hope there was some more.
Well, Lake Tahoe is quite a sort of a forgotten sort of segment of Elvis's career. Anyway, you hear a lot about the International and the Hilton and the Hilton and the tour shows, but you hear very, very little about the Tahoe ones. So maybe we should dive deeper into the Tahoe ones later.
And actually, Tahoe, you can tell that he was having a good time because he would just throw in the most random songs. Like, for example, in the 76th engagement, and I swear on my life this is absolutely true, he goes, all right, boys, let's do that song from Funny in Acapulco. And then he goes, Guadalajara, Guadalajara, Guadalajara. And then he goes, all right, no, stop.
Yeah, no, that would have been a very, very hard one to do live, wouldn't it? Very, very hard.
He also apparently tried what was that song from You Don't Know Me. I think he tried to do one time.
Oh, right.
And he got stuck there because he went, you don't know me, and then he went, all right, no, stop.
Yeah, he sort of he did that a lot of times. Just sang the first line of a song and then said no, forget it. He even did. Yes, I was just about to say he did the first line of If I Can Dream and then just stopped. So.
And that was in Tahoe as well.
No, was it? Oh my goodness! Yep. There you go. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Thanks a lot for what a great Dylan's tale.
Thank you. And,
see ya.
To tease next week's.
Oh yes.
I think I might do a Ronnie Tut tale next.
Oh right. Okay. We'll look forward to that. Cheers, Dylan. Right. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Join us again next week for another Dylan's Elvis tale.
Lovely. Now, moving on, Mark. Yes, Mark Green. How are you, Mark?
I'm all right, Steve. How are you?
Brilliant. Now you're gonna come up with something that I haven't even got on my list, are you?
There's a few places. Well, I've been to quite a few of all the places that you put on the list. I've been to.
Have you been to, for instance, Lauderdale Courts?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went there the first time I ever went to Memphis.
But you can stay in the room now, can't you? And you can. I know the ladies actually kiss the wall and they leave lipstick on the wall.
Yeah. Obviously, there's quite a little bits to see. Yeah, you can see in there. Yeah, and all that. I think some of the places. Obviously, you came up with Studio B because I come up with Studio B. I was thinking about that. I was thinking Madison Square Garden. I've been there. What a great arena to see that was.
Oh yes, of course, Madison Square Garden. I didn't have that on my list.
And also the place I've been to as well. And I went inside. Fantastic outside to look at. Mid-South Coliseum.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In the hometown of Memphis, obviously, we really enjoyed all these.
I did a feature on that a couple of years ago. They were thinking of knocking it down or something. Is it still standing?
It's still standing at the moment. Yeah, let's hope they don't because it's such an iconic building. It's so great to see, and what a place to perform. And the shows you did there were great, and it's just a part of Elvis' history, isn't it? You don't want it to go. Yeah, I was thinking of Circle G Ranch.
Oh yes, that's another good one. Yeah.
I've been there. Obviously, I saw all that. I walked inside the battered ranch as it is really now. The home, it's falling down when I went. And obviously all the grounds are
Do you know, I've just thought of another place as well. You know, the place in Indianapolis, that has been knocked down. That reminded me when we talked about the Mid-South Coliseum being knocked down.
The Market Square Arena.
Yeah, the Market Square Arena, yeah. Now, but there's a plaque and everything, isn't there, commemorating it?
Yeah, there's a plaque there. Yeah, that's great. It's a shame, Yeah, but you know, you'll always know that the Madison Square Garden will still be there because they're still closed today.
Oh yeah. They won't knock that down, that's for sure. So did you sort of pick another choice then in the poll? Did you?
I didn't really pick another choice. Obviously, we've all been to Graceland. Obviously, it's always your first choice to go. But the place, I've been to Tupelo, of course, and the hardware shop and Lansky's and all around there. But the place that I love to go, was two places. I love to go down Bill Street. I thought that was great to go down there. But the place that I picked was Sun Studios.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I just think it's where it started for Elvis. And,
of course.
You walk in there and you still feel it all. You know, you feel that everybody's been in there, don't you? Cash, Elvis, Lewis. It's just an iconic place. And it's to me, you could smell him in there still.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, being able to stand on the exact spot where he sung, where he sung, that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the picture taken with exactly the same mic, I think. So the guy said it was the mic that Elvis used. Yeah, so, and the spot where we stood. You listen to all the history of the place as well. It's amazing.
Yes.
You know, you sit there and the guy talks you through for half an hour, 40 minutes, and it's an iconic place, and you know, it's the recordings from Sun Studio still sound fresh today, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think you can still do recordings in there. People, I mean, Lisa Marie went in there and did some recordings, I believe.
I actually recorded in there. There's a little booth in there, but they come out like little karaoke track like recordings, really.
Yeah.
I did sing some Elvis songs and got them on a disc, and the disc got Sun Studios on and everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's nice. I think Rattle and Hum by U2, that was an album they recorded in there as well. Yeah.
They recorded there. Yeah, that's it. There's so many iconic places. You know, you talk about Hawaii and everything else, isn't it? And I'm sure there's more that will come along and think of in in time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see the comments that people leave when they're watching on playback to see that some of the things that we've forgotten as well.
Yeah,
but okay, that's great.
Yep, that's great. All right, Steve.
Cheers, Mark. All the best. Bye. And we move on, to Tanya. Hi, Tanya. How are you? How are you? Hello there.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
What do you think about these places that you must visit if you're an Elvis fan?
I think you've forgotten one of my favourites is called Overton Park Shell.
Oh yes, I'm surprised nobody has mentioned that. Yes, Overton Park Shell. Goodness me.
It's the Livet Shell.
Yes.
Shell.
Yeah.
He was there 30th of July 1954, and he sang "That's All Right" and "Blue Moon of Kentucky."
Yeah. You see, this is it. There must be thousands of places which you could tie in with Elvis, but I wanted to sort of give you the 6 or 7 of the main ones, and then I deliberately left out some ones. Now, obviously, I've mentioned these to the other callers. The ones I've missed out are obviously Lauderdale Courts, Audubon Drive, Studio B, Radio Recorders, 1174 Hillcrest, Chino Canyon Drive, Lansky's, Tupelo Hardware, and now you've just added to that list Overton Park Shell. Do you know, I never even thought of that. That's amazing.
Have you been there?
Nope, I have not. No, and I've been been obviously to a lot of those places I've just listed, but that's one I missed off my list.
I think that one's one of the top ones after Graceland, of course. Because it's trust. You could see like you're on this white stadium, and you could look up the hill, and that's where people were sitting.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, the obvious ones are Graceland's Sun Studio, Tupelo, and then after that, it kind of gets a little bit sort of off the beaten track. I mean, Shreveport, Louisiana, if you're ever in, or if to visit that place is again, it's very historical because he cut his teeth there in the Louisiana hayride as well, didn't he? And actually, a bit I didn't tell you about the Louisiana hayride was he got so popular that he was so busy touring and doing other things that the Colonel Parker had to buy out his contract for $10,000, so he could get out of the contract of Louisiana hayride. But he did promise he would go back and do a charity show as well. So that's another thing that I forgot to tell you about Louisiana hayride. Okay, anything else you want to mention?
I wanted to mention a short story about Sonny West.
Oh, right, okay. Away you go.
Elvis and the Memphis Mafia were staying in someone's friend's house, and everyone left, and it's just Sonny West there, and everyone thought that Elvis was asleep, and apparently he was not asleep, and Sonny West went to go to get him breakfast, the general food. And then he was calling the hotel receptionist to book a taxi.
Okay.
And he was climbing over the fence because the gates were locked and he couldn't open them.
Oh, right. This was Sonny West trying to get out.
It's Elvis.
Oh, it was Elvis trying to get out. Okay. Haven't heard that one before, I must admit.
He was booking a yellow taxi in
Oh, a yellow cab. Yeah.
Yellow
okay.
cab.
Okay. And which house was this?
It was like Warner Brothers.
Oh, it was a studio. Oh, right. It was the Warner Brothers studio, was it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I must admit, if I've heard that before, I don't remember hearing it. That's a very interesting story.
It's surprising how he had to have a lot of people around him to depend on to do everyday things that we take for granted.
Well, this is it. I mean, he was such a busy guy, that he did have to have some of the people to take up the slack of some of the more mundane things and things like that. He had guys that would look after his cars and things like that. Alan Fortas used to sort of look after the cars and things like that for a while as well. And Marty Lacker used to take care of some of the expenditures and ordering up laundry and ordering up food and stuff like that, and to make sure that Graceland always had the particular food that Elvis liked and things like that. So yeah, I mean for all the, I know they do get a lot of criticism, the Memphis Mafia, but I'm sure they did do their own sort of work while they were there as well. Look at Charlie Hodge. Charlie Hodge did an awful lot on stage for Elvis. He kept things going and so forth, and handed scarves and water and things like that, and sang harmony with him as well.
Yeah, it was Jack Warner's house.
Oh, Jack Warner's house, right? Okay, all right.
You had to book a yellow cab.
Yeah. Okay.
And the receptionist didn't realise it was Elvis, and they thought it was a prank.
Oh, right. So she got a shock when she realised it was Elvis, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Tanya, thanks very much for calling in.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Bye. And we move on and we say hi to Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla. Just wait for Priscilla to come through. Hi.
Hey, Steve, my boy, how are you?
Oh, brilliant. How are you?
I'm good. What an interesting topic tonight.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I had a lot of fun sort of compiling it. Put it that way. Now, are you gonna?
It's made me think outside the box.
Now, are you going to give me something which nobody yet has mentioned? Tanya there mentioned one which took me completely by surprise. I hadn't thought of. Overton Park Shell. Yeah.
I did put that in the comments.
Oh, did you? Right.
One of the places. I'd love to see the suite in the Westgate.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love. Just, that height, that view of Vegas, and knowing that it was what he saw. I'd like that.
It was it was very well depicted in Elvis, wasn't it, Baz Luhrmann? It's right at the very, very, very top, wasn't it?
And I think, he spent a large amount of time there.
Oh, he did, yeah.
I did also put down Circle G. I know they say the house in Palm Springs is the honeymoon house, but I think they spent a lot of time after being married in Circle G, and I think that Elvis got to play real life cowboys, and that must have made him very happy.
Yeah, he did.
So I imagine that being a place of happiness for him, and so I'd like to see that, and that barbecue that they built out the back with the big EP.
Yeah.
And of course all of the other places mentioned tonight, like Germany, the Bad Nauheim,
Lauderdale Courts, where you can actually stay in his room.
Yes, yeah. There was a bit of banter there with Tracy on the chat.
Was there?
She'd like to stay in his room, and I just said, well, he wouldn't be there, Tracy.
Yeah, but you could get the kiss, and you could leave your lipstick on the wall. A lot of people do that.
Do you know that when I was in Memphis, I didn't sign the wall at Graceland?
Oh, why? What happened?
I have no urge to do that.
Yeah, some people people don't want to do it. They actually consciously do not want to do it.
And I was one of those consciously who didn't want to do it. But I can understand why people might. It just, it never made... if I thought he was still in the house and that he might come down to the wall and look at it and find my number and ring me, then yeah, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Well, I tell you, I kept it very, very brief. We just put thanks, Elvis. That's what we did. Thanks, Elvis.
Well, I very, very... thoughtful and sensible. I did something similar, but I left it on the grave.
Oh, right. Right.
Wait, I tell you, it's whatever floats people's boats. Who am I to say what I did was right and what someone else did was? If it gives you joy, then rock on, because that's what Elvis would want.
Yeah, exactly.
Elvis would want all of us to be happy and to live the best possible lives we can.
Yeah.
And given the unrealistic circumstances he was forced to live in, he did the best he could too, And I think that all of those places, and when there was talk of whether or not they'd tear down this side or that side or the other side for otherwise, and because of the link to Elvis, I think what we forget, because we're, completely wholeheartedly invested in it, is that unless there's money to be made out of it, it don't matter that it was one of Elvis's.
Now here's a question, right? Did people write on the wall before Elvis died?
Yes, I think they did.
I think they did as well, and I don't think it bothered him.
No, I don't think it bothered him. I don't know why. It just never floated my boat. So the first and only thing that consumed me, in traveling there and getting there and being there was to visit his gravesite. That's until I got there and did that. That's what I thought about all the time. And then, of course, to see inside the mansion and to actually walk in that door, And I remember telling you before, when I did, Steve, it felt like I knew where I was going. Isn't that mad? To be someplace that you've never been, but you've spent so much time looking at it, that when you walked in, it felt like you knew where you were.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe when I first looked up that hill and saw it. I thought, goodness me, I'm seeing it for the first time. I've seen it so many times, on film, and I've seen it so many times on still pictures. But now to actually see it with my own eyes, it was almost surreal,
Sweeping Avenue. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes.
Really. And I know, Steve, and I'm sure you do too, how lucky we are to have had that opportunity. And I know there are so many people who love Elvis who won't get that opportunity or, might not get that opportunity. So I do know it was a privilege.
Yeah, and you got to meet the beautiful Lisa as well. It was, by the way, happy birthday, Lisa, for yesterday, 1st of February.
Yeah.
sad.
Like taken way too soon, like her daddy. I did post yesterday on social media, and I did, say I really hope you're in the arms of your daddy. Like, and she was so kind, and I've said it before. Like, that was a trip of a lifetime. I will never, ever not be grateful for the opportunities that I had. And as you mentioned at the start of the show, we're losing people with Elvis connections on an almost weekly basis now.
Yeah.
And so I know I was fortunate to see and speak to the people I did. And those people appeared to me, to do it for the right reasons, to do it because they want to acknowledge Elvis. And yes, of course, they might have had a book or whatever out of it, but it was out of love because they weren't ever going to be made rich out of whatever they were selling. They genuinely were happy to talk about their experiences with Elvis or the impact Elvis may have had on their lives. And I think that's a great, to spend time with people who actually did spend time with him. It's the best I'm ever going to get, isn't it?
Yeah. A few people in the chat have confirmed that Ruth is one of them, Ruth Daniel, that they did used to write on the wall while Elvis was still alive. So it's nothing new, really.
I did think they did.
Yeah.
I did think they did. And again, I may have if he was still there and that he's, I'd be the one he'd pick. But I don't know. I mean, it just wasn't something I wanted to do. I really wanted to visit the gravesite, and I really wanted to be at Sun.
Yeah.
And because Sun has an amazing impact in the history of music, not just the Elvis connection, but the amazing recording artists that existed before Elvis.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. Like even just without Elvis, it's still an amazing place.
The tour was phenomenal. The tour guide we had was a young man, young enough now, I'd say late 20s maybe, if that, and so enthusiastic about music, and it's an amazing space.
Yeah.
To get that, to have that information given to you. And then obviously to know that all of those recording artists that did spend time there were huge influences on Elvis. And if you think about it, like U2, the biggest band in the world at the time, chose to record Rattle and Hum there.
And don't forget the story of Bob Dylan going into Sun's studio, kneeling down, kissing the spot where Elvis stood, and walking back out again. Don't forget that.
Like, really, but once you've done that, as as you could need to do. Like, it's an amazing, and I understand that there's a huge part of all of these places that Elvis had any connection to that we as fans would like, them to be, I don't know, the words coming to my head is immortalized, but it's not what I want. But they want it to be, marked and what's the word? Commemorated. But the reality is that we all know that money makes the world go around, and if they're not making money, then they probably won't keep them around.
Yeah.
So I do think that we have a voice and we have a power sometimes that we should, not just say I wish, we should actually do, or petition, or like the wonderful work that Leslie does with the Circle G. And like tireless work. Like unbelievable amount of effort goes into that. And like, we talked on your show about Dolan's Drive and the state that house is in. But again, like if somebody doesn't stand up and say something, then I don't know if anything changes. Nothing changes if we don't.
I know the fella that owns Dolan Drive house is in California. And he's not that interested in the Elvis connection anymore. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. I think it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, I think, unfortunately.
Well, no, the other thing is we don't know what's going on in that person's life. What crises they're facing,
Yeah, true.
Like, we just don't know. But again, there are lots of these sites that, yes, I'd love to see, but will I ever get the chance? Probably not, because by the time I have enough money to do that one, probably 3 more of them will be gone.
Yeah.
But I did say Circle G, the Overton, Shell, the suite in the Westgate. There's a couple I'd like to see. And again, maybe I'll get to Germany.
Yeah, well, there's one quite close to us as well, which we haven't thought of, and Pat Shepherd has just mentioned it in the live chat. Prestwick Airport. She wondered whether that had been commemorated. That's been commemorated. There's a plaque and something, isn't there, of him being there?
There is. Yeah. I'm not sure it counts as him being there. Did he ever get off the tarmac?
Oh, he did. Yeah, he went in the terminal building, as far as I know, for a couple of hours. He was only there a couple of hours. He was interviewed and everything as well, and there's pictures as well. Yeah.
What makes Prestwick, what makes that stopover in Prestwick so unique is that at no place else other than Germany and Paris did he spend time.
That's right.
The fact that he didn't travel outside of the US. And spent so little time in so few places in Europe that any place he did obviously will go down in history simply because of its rarity.
Yeah. Okay. Always love to speak to you, Priscilla. Oh, by the way, no. And enjoy the long weekend, because we've got a holiday tomorrow, haven't we? a lie in tomorrow. Good luck.
Well, no, I don't ever count the bank holiday as a lie-in.
Okay.
I count it as a late night.
I like your style. Okay. See ya. Cheers, bye. Okay, and we move on to Vincenzo. Hi, Vincenzo. How are you? How are you? Sorry to keep you waiting.
Good.
What was I going to say to you? So, have you thought of anywhere that anybody else hasn't mentioned yet?
Humes High School.
Oh, yes. That's a good one.
Liberty Land.
Oh, yes.
Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, yeah. Another good one.
And the Seattle World's Fair.
Very good. Yeah. And tell me this, after Graceland, which would be your favourite Elvis location if you could visit it?
The birthplace.
The birthplace, yeah, I've been there. It's a lovely place, lovely spot, and it's so humble when you go in there. It's literally just 2 rooms. You think, wow. When you think that's where he started and then where he ended up in Graceland. I mean, I know I said at the top of the show that Graceland is quite modest by today's standard, but it must have been a palace to them in 1957. Huh?
The Houston Astrodome.
Oh yeah, Houston Astrodome. That's another one. Yeah, good one. All right, Vincenzo.
Yeah.
All the best. Nice talking to you. Bye. Yeah, good ones from Vincenzo. And thanks to all the callers today. Really, really, really good calls, as most weeks. We get great calls. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this back to my screen. There it is. Okay. Yes, thanks very much to all the callers. And we must move on. And I've lost a sheet. There it is. I don't know. It must have stuck together. They do stick together sometimes. So we're going to do this day in Elvis history. Down through the years, you probably might wonder what Elvis was doing on a particular day, such as today. And why can't I do that? There it is. February the 2nd, 1955. Elvis, Scotty and Bill performed at the High School, Augusta, Arkansas. Have we got something to show you? Yes, there you are. The newspaper ad for the show, pictures of the Blue Moon Boys, High Blue Moon Boys, still dressed in their Western shirts. This photograph will continue to be used for some months in newspapers throughout the South, though Scotty and Bill have by now stopped wearing the cowboy-style outfits. So, there you are. They probably didn't have time to get another publicity shot taken. They were that busy. 1957. Elvis had the highest... Just adjust that a little bit. Elvis had the highest debut at 41 on the Billboard Disc Jockeys chart with the single Playing for Keeps. This Sam Kessler-penned song was 19th entry, and it became his 14th top 40, peaking at 21. I didn't read that very well, did I? This Stan Kessler Pen song was his 19th entry, and it became his 14th top 40, peaking at number 21. That was a better job this time. And also, we've got Loving You production as well. And 1958, we have King Creole. 1959, on this day, we have, and we showed that earlier, the Hotel Grunwald. Elvis moved from the Hotel Grunwald to a rented house on Gotherstrath 14 for the rest of his military service. At the request of the European hotel's other guests, Frau Piper, the landlady, charged them the enormous rent of $800 a month. Imagine $800 a month in 1959. However, she still maintained a room in the house, partly to serve as housekeeper, partly to keep an eye on her new guests. Elvis's grandma and Frau Piper soon became fast friends, though they were often at odds, each in their own language. I'd say that was something to witness. 1963, fun in Acapulco. Eventually, Elvis agreed to have the diamond removed. What's that? No, that's wrong. Fun in Acapulco. I don't need to read that out because that's still a relic from last week's sheet. 1967. Elvis paid $5,000 for an American-bred saddle horse. 1971 and 70, dinner and midnight shows at the International Hotel. Ooh, look at that, ladies. 1970, 1971, Elvis waiting for you in the elevator. And 1972, 73 and 74, right, it had then changed to the Hilton Hotel. So we've got some shots here as well. Yes. Behind that lady's head, it says girls' dressing room. What's Elvis doing lurking outside the girls' dressing room? That's what I want to know. But he looks really, really good there, doesn't he? Really, really good. 1973, Don't Think Twice. 1974, Vegas, 2nd, 74. Dinner and midnight shows as well. Now, unfortunately, 1975, Elvis is in hospital from January 29th to February 14th, 1975. 1976, we've got the beginning of the Jungle Room sessions at Graceland with the hope of Elvis would be able to deliver in his relaxed domestic setting. But though the band was there, and it was the same one that he used in concert, it didn't work out that way. Elvis appeared on the first night in his Denver police uniform, and it was evident to all concerned that his mind was not on the session. And even when it was, he focused almost exclusively on downbeat material. 3 masters were completed between 8 p.m. and 9:30 the following morning. Let's see what they were. They were Bitter They Are, Harder They Fall, She Thinks I Still Care, and The Last Farewell. Now, that was This Day in Elvis History. I hope you enjoyed that. There will be another This Day in Elvis History next week. Please do keep adding your votes to the poll after Graceland. Which would be your favourite Elvis location? Tupelo Birthplace, Sun Studio, Audubon Drive House, or if you want to leave another choice, you can leave it in the live chat, or if you're watching on playback, you can leave it below this video. Now, we've got this.
Hidden Elvis, clue number 3.
Okay, Hidden Elvis clue number 3 is $14 million. $14 million. Okay, now, one more clue to go, and then we will. I'll ask you to guess what you think it is. Now, a song I wish Elvis had recorded, suggested by Manfred Baumer. Now, Manfred is sort of suggested this, Bad Moon Rising. Now, he sort of suggested it because he sent me a list of songs that he thought maybe Elvis should have covered, and this was one of them that I came across. So Bad Moon Rising is a song written by John Fogerty and performed by Creedence Clearwater Revival. It was the lead single from their album Green River. The song peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart on 28th of June 1969 and reached number 1 on the UK singles chart for 3 weeks in September of that year. The song had been recorded by at least 20 different artists in styles ranging from folk to reggae to psychedelic rock, but sadly not Elvis. The song played a major part in the 1991 movie An American Werewolf in London. It plays as the main character David Kessler nears the moment of changing into the werewolf. I reckon Elvis and the TCB band would have made a great job of covering Bad Moon Rising. Imagine Ronnie doing the heavy drum beat and James flying along with the great guitar riffs. They did Proud Mary, so why not Bad Moon Rising? So that's this week's I Wish Elvis Had Recorded. Bad Moon Rising, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I'll put a link below in case you're unfamiliar with it, but I'm sure you've heard it before. And you can send me in your suggestions for I Wish Elvis Had Recorded. Now, we've got to move on to this.
It's time now for Caption the Photo.
Caption the Photo. It was this one. He looks half asleep there, doesn't he? Or he's just falling asleep or he's just waking up. And I believe that's Mae Axton. I believe it is, unless somebody wants to correct me. Now, what's for lunch, hun? That's what he's saying to her. Sorry, baby, I'm doing the diva pose, but only to show off my diamond belt. I thought I was a puppet on a string, honey, not a book on a shelf. Lady, you're putting me to sleep with your chatting. Honey, there's no room to rumba in a sports car or on this shelf either. No, honey, we can't tie the knot, but I've got a knot in my shirt if you're interested. That's a clever one. Then there's I was the original Elvis on the shelf. I'm yours and you are mine, come what may. Love like ours remains divine, come what may. Mae Axton. Yeah, clever one. But winner, as voted for by you with 18 likes, was Mrs. EAP Elaine. And it's please don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm a little mixed up, but I'm feeling fine. So congratulations to Mrs. EAP, and we'll do it all again next week with a Caption the Photo on the community tab on this channel. Now, I think the best thing to do is to probably close the poll and see what we've got. Okay. After Graceland, which would be your favourite Elvis location? Tupelo Birthplace 44%, Sun Studio 33%, other leave in the chat 13%, and Audubon Drive House 8%. So I will look forward to reading some of those other choices in the live chat later, and I'll also look forward to reading the ones that people have left on replay as well below. So thanks very much for voting on that poll, and there'll be another poll next week. Now, underrated Elvis song chosen by Judy. That was a song as well, wasn't it? Oh, Judy. I said that this song is an if I said that this song is an Eddie Rabbitt song from 1969 Memphis Sessions, you'd think it was Kentucky Rain, but nope. Judy says that Inherit the Wind is her underrated Elvis song. Could and should have been a single release and one of many highlights from that great recordings at the American Sound Studios. Elvis does make a mistake in the lyrics. In the second chorus, instead of Like My Dad, There's a Dream in My Brain, he sings Like My Dad, There's a Dream in My Vein. I remember spotting it years ago when listening on headphones. Yeah, it's amazing what you can hear with headphones. And I'm pretty sure there's a V there instead of a B. So if you've never heard that and never picked it up, then check it out. It's a great song that would have been a hit if it had been released as a single, I believe, anyway. And so does Judy. Let's have a look. It was recorded on January the 16th, 1969. Take 1 was a false start. Take 2 was a long false start. Take 3 was a false start. And take 4 is the master. Now, Bobby Wood was doing the guide vocals on the 16th, and then because Elvis was recuperating at Graceland because he had a sore throat and a cold. And then he put his vocal to the backing track that Bobby Wood had provided guide vocals on the 21st of January when he came back in between 8 and 11 p.m. And they did, I don't know how many they did actually. They did about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 or 7 looks like complete takes before Elvis was happy. And it was first released on Back in Memphis, that wonderful album. The second part of the double album, the other part was Live at the International Hotel. The first track of What a Way to Begin an Album. A great album track, and I think it should have been a single as well. Let me know in the comments what you think to Inherit the Wind being an underrated Elvis song. Now,
Hidden Elvis, fourth and final clue.
Hidden Elvis, fourth and final clue. Yes. Are you ready? Neil S. Blaisdell. Neil S. Blaisdell. That's what it is. Those are the 4 clues. Would you like to tell me what the hidden Elvis is? Let's see, in the live chat, anybody tell me what? Susan says, loved Inherit the Wind live. Yes. He does a good live version of Inherit the Wind from 1969. Inherit the Wind is definitely underrated. Fabulous song. Yeah. We agree with you, Judy. Thanks for sending that in, by the way. And you can send in your underrated songs. By the way, while we're waiting for somebody to tell me what the hidden Elvis is, you can sub if you already haven't subbed and click the bell. And you can also send in your ideas as well. It looks like I've got you on the hidden Elvis. Ha ha ha. I like it. Joe Mann says, Elvis lived at the Knickerbocker Apartments off Sunset Boulevard. Debolicious loves Elvis. I have no clue. Ruth says, love Inherit the Wind. Jill Brett says, Roustabout. Vincenzo says Hawaiian International Centre. And Chris says, you stumped him, Steve, but I haven't because, and I'll tell you the reason why, is because Vincenzo has just got it, actually. It's this. This is the hidden Elvis. We saw this earlier on, actually. It's that place. So let me go back through it. It was built on September the 12th, 1964. That was clue number 1. Clue number 2, 8,800. That's how many the arena was seated. And clue number 3, $14 million. That's how much it cost to build it. And finally, this is what it's called now. It's called the Neil S. Blaisdell Center, but it is actually the Honolulu International Center that we know it better as, because that's where the 1973 Aloha from Hawaii came from. So well done, Vincenzo. Top marks, really top marks for getting that. And there'll be another hidden Elvis next week. But before we go any further, we have to do this, which is...
Oh, he's so hot.
Don't forget, you can send me in your voice clip of saying...
Oh, he's so hot.
Or anything else you would say when you see a picture of this young man. This was actually via Discord, on our Discord server, sent in by Alan, I believe. Hi, Alan, if you're still watching. And it's from, it looks like they got a lot of living to do scene from Loving You. So what does everybody think of that? Mrs. EAP is just got flames. I'm not hot, I'm Joe, says Joe. Pure beauty, says Pat Shepherd. Jill Brett has just got a load of hearts. Gorgeous Elvis. Young and beautiful thud, says Mrs. EAP. The camera absolutely loved him, yes. Thud, 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 says Chris R. So hot.
Oh, he's so hot,
says Shirley Ellis. Pure deliciousness. So gorgeous, handsome young man, says Sally Billing. I like the tight jeans pants. Yeah, you can't see him on that photograph, but you can see it on the movie, yes. Very rarely did he wear denim, because he associated denim with being when he was in Tupelo and they were poor. One of my favourite film scenes, says Jill Brett. So thanks to everybody that's taken part tonight. Thanks to all the great callers. Thanks to Dave and Chris for moderating. And once again, thank you to everybody that joins me live and everybody that watches the playback. If you do want to show your appreciation, you can actually buy me a coffee using the link below or scan the QR code. It's very, very appreciated. People that do donate to this, I try and put as much as I can back into the channel. And that's it for this week. I'm off to listen to a little bit of Elvis and maybe watch a little bit of Elvis on screen. I just feel like a bit of Elvis. We'll do it all again next week. Or caption the photo and this day in Elvis history and just Elvis fun and call-ins. Don't forget, you can always call in and talk to me. But until next week, I'll take it away.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.